I'm Ryan Day. I maintain a QR code package for NPM. So it's kind of neat. You can NPM install QR code and generate QR codes for your applications. Maybe how to make a QR code with Node. What kind of error correction do they have inside of them? How to take it way out of spec and put your own crap in it. Because they're not very good looking unless you have it next to the cool like JSConf 8-bit font. And then how to maybe stick some bacon behind one. And then it's JavaScript, so you can do it on the client side too. Like every day when I'm playing around with these QR codes, I get disappointed, right? I bring it up on my phone, share it with like barcode scanner on Android, and it doesn't scan. Like an iPhone user couldn't scan it, right? And we're like inches apart at night, the screen's backlit. But in other situations, they work great. You know, other times I'm not disappointed. You know, you see them on the sides of buildings, you see them all over the place, you know, so, you know, people seem to put them on stuff. And I think it's more the mystery, like what is inside of the QR code. You know, I mean, sometimes you just want to know, right? Sometimes you're like, that could be, you know, in fact, it is a clue. Could do all sorts of funny things. They can hold about 1.2K, so you can stick, I mean, they get pretty big. With the highest level of error correction. Like I said before, they look kind of neat if they're next to this like real blocky text. When you put this on your website or you know, print it on your advertisement, you really are sacrificing a big portion of your real estate, right? There's no brand identity. It's just not very fun. Right? There's nothing to do with bacon at all. Let's see. Making a QR code with Node. Just npm install QR code. You can have some problems just because of dependencies on Cairo. I don't know if everybody has an up-to-date version of Cairo, but if you happen to get one in the middle, Node Canvas will install and seem to work perfectly, but it will be unable to extract data from images. It will be unable to write images to the canvas. So that's a big breaker if you're going to try and put weird things on underneath your QR codes. The API. Pretty simple. Basically, exporting the functions that the canvas itself provides. Ability to send a to data URL, save it to a file, simply draw it and return a canvas object. So I mean, that's how to do it. It's not that complicated. I tried to propose a minimalistic API. There's a lot more options for configurability in a version I'm going to push tonight maybe. That'll allow you to configure like the module size and stuff like that, provide additional options. Let's see. Let's see. So that's not really the last slide. So, whoa. I recently refactored this code. Because I was polluting the global space on the client side with a bunch of variables, because I was kind of hacking around the fact that I have synchronous model loading or module loading in Node, but asynchronous module loading on the client side. This library is fully, it's Canvas. It uses the canvas. It works totally on the client side. You can just, type stuff. The QR code gets more data, and it just works. You can scan it. So you can choose to render your QR codes dynamically on the client with whatever information they want, post them back to the server, or you can generate them on the server yourself. Getting creative with QR codes. I mean, when a scanner actually reads a QR code, it's taking just the grayscale of the image. So like the background could be bright yellow, and it would work just fine, right? could be a very bright color. It could be like a bright green, which has the most influence on our eyes. And it wouldn't it wouldn't harm the data at all in any way. People could read it from very far away. It'd be very obvious, right, that it was yours. Let's see. With Canvas, you can do things like, round edges. This is terrible. Sorry, I gotta zoom in or something. Anyway, so maybe show you some code. Or not. So, wow, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
So, this is the theme of my talk, and I like to start off with the subtitle, "Why you no give me 1 point though?" And when I say that, I guess I'm just really talking about how to...
Let's see. So I said like we can mess with it in funny ways. I made a little web API. I can pass in an effect, right, rounded, and I can draw it and get a canvas back. I can do a bunch of inefficient things with the canvas in lots of weird ways, and then I changed the result, right? It's now like a canvas with slightly rounded check marks. That's kind of neat. I wanted to make sure that I could brand a QR code and with like a logo or something and have it retain its data, not compromise a client's ability to understand it. And bacon's a pretty good choice actually because browns are very dark. It's actually very difficult to desaturate browns. I made some functions that convert RGB to YUV and reduce the luminosity of the colors, which is the algorithm that's used in grayscale. To make bacon-themed QR codes, this will scan just fine. It's got a bacon heart because I'm actually really sick of bacon because of JSConf 2. Pre-JSConf, I was really excited about bacon. Now I'm kind of done, but I still love bacon. I mean, you can really just put anything back there, right? As long as you can ensure that the colors are light enough. And I've provided a function with the Canvas utility that will ensure that all pixels can be pushed below that threshold. And I made a little API in the test to be able to show how to do that. Yeah. Thank you. Please ask more questions because I'm nervous and never talked before. Thank you. Let's see. Bacon. Let's see. So simply, I just have, this is just my test file. It's not designed to be an API yet. I mean, I could expose these kind of bacon effects as an API, and who knows, everybody likes bacon. And there's a bacon bikini effect, but I don't know if I should show the resulting QR code. I'll show it to anybody later. Because bacon bikinis are actually a very top, very high Google image result for bacon. Let's see. So how to process the image. Now, I wrote this code last night, so it's not like the best, and I'm sure there's going to be some free variables, but it works. I set a dark and a light threshold. Then I make sure that the image will fit as best as possible. I'll crop it off on the longest side. So, an image that's a wide rectangle will get the end cut off. I have just a pixel helper provided by a Canvas util library I put on NPM. Just iterates over pixels. You pass it to Canvas as like a generic callback. This is the raw function for calculating luminosity, which after I wrote that I also passed to, I added it to a library. It's the calculation of luminosity is based on the 709 coefficients. Those are used in HDTV rather than the 6 whatever or something or other. But they're just magic numbers that make these specific magic numbers that add a weighted average to your pixels. These are things that you can use to, if you wanted to customize a QR code, right? My library at its core just provides a QR code. It's 2 spec, right? This is how you can make it out of spec, but still readable, really. A lot of this stuff, I would like to expose, like just export a few kind of trick functions that would allow you to underlay any background. I made a bug and I had to roll back anyway. This is my development branch of Node QR code. It's on GitHub, and I will finish the test today and get it up. So you'll be able to basically provide any image as a background, and the code will either darken or lighten the pixels appropriately, and then your code will just work. Right, so you have like a Node.js logo, NPM logo, you can put anything right in the middle, and you know that the library is going to take care of ensuring that, it's just a simple number 1 through 100, and about 50 is the distance you need. If you see 25, 75 anyway. Then if the color's too light, I just iterate the pixels, and then call back with the bacon canvas. So, I don't know, it works. I guess, any questions? Oh yes, let me, it is, sorry. On my GitHub, it's the repository node canvas util. And I should have pushed that up. Conversion lib. Inside of conversion lib, I've added, I grabbed some functions from MJ Jackson. I don't know. I don't have his full name here. I just included his copyright. RGB to HSL, HSL to RGB, RGB to HSV. I experimented with a lot of different kinds of transforms. I have one that increases the brightness of bright colors, which has an interesting behavior when you're looking at like sunflowers or something, right? You can have a super bright color and really subdued colors underneath your QR code, or under whatever, right? I did a lot of the tests for that. Yeah, it's just JavaScript, and it's just a Canvas API. Let me see if I start that server. Let's see. So this is the actual tests for the different algorithms for determining grayscale and different implementations. But anyway, this column is client side, this column is server side, and the same for the boat. This is kind of derived from, there's a fellow who made documented some of these grayscale functions, but it turns out that this is the correct one. That's the one that the phones use to determine grayscale. That's the most popular. It's based on that HD standard. Let's see. I actually implement those transforms kind of with the plugin architecture for Canvas util. Let me just, right here actually. So it's, let me increase the size of that.
Find the best tool for the job. So this is kind of a mini announcement. We're going to be putting this on all the projects that we maintain.
So, I mean, the lightness, average, luminosity, all grayscale, luma Y, luma RMY. A brighten threshold. Basically, these are all filters to apply over any canvas. You can write anything to it. It'll just apply the filter blindly. Any plugin that goes into Canvas Util, can take advantage or extend that pixel iterator's behavior to apply just kind of random crazy effects if they want. And it'll work on the client side as well. Brighten threshold, saturation threshold, either you can choose instead of pushing colors darker inside of their own range, but to actually push them towards white using HSV or HSL. A note, YUV is actually a lossy, it's a lossy algorithm. So if you take RGB to YUV and back again, you're going to end up with slightly different colors. It's the reason JPEG is lossy and is used in MPEG compression as well. So, those are why those are lossy algorithms. But yeah, anything else? Huh? Kate, actually. I'm running, this is my older OpenSUSE box, and I'm using KDE. It's kind of, it's just all the KDE plugins, the Qt plugins, like just the editor component, the file browser component. It's all just like a plugin architecture. All right. Well, thank you.